Made it to Thousand Oaks. I'm here for the PFO procedure. If we have to start the video here, that's what we're gonna have to do. But made it after the long drive. Today's the day to close the hole in my heart and get on to a normal way of living and get off this medication. So once I get this thing done, I will have, I will have probably another month and a half of taking this medication, and then after that I can go back to getting off of Pavlik's and going straight to baby aspirin, and then yeah, I'll be able to start kind of introducing myself back into the realm of normal things, normal activities. So I'm hopeful, and I can't talk too much longer. I've already talked for quite a bit of time. I have about 45 minutes to get to the hospital for check-in, and yeah, don't know. So I'm standing right now. I'm good. But this is before, so we'll see how I feel after, and I'll be sure to document all of that. Shit. All right. See you guys in a bit.
And don't lock the door, okay?
Here we go. But I'll be all right. I'll be all right. Goddamn blood pressure cup bullshit. Lots to hit everyone up. I'll call you guys. I'll talk to you guys in a bit. What an experience. Want to come very soon? Catch you guys in a bit. Maybe not. I don't know. I almost made you stay late, man. My bad. So you give me the boot, huh? All right, this is the next morning. There's a lot of stuff that happened post procedure. It was crazy. Like, not post exactly, but like lots of stuff that, like, the whole thing, it was wild. It wasn't like wild in a bad way. It's just like, you get impressions of how the procedure may be from others, but there's not a lot of videos on, like, from people, like, how they felt about it. You got a lot of these pre-manufactured videos of people that get it and, like, they're great, and there's like a monologue, but they're produced by the companies that sell these devices, so they're scripted. Bottom line is, there's not very many people that I've seen that have testimonial videos about it. So this is just a little bit of an intake for people that may be getting it. I know this is something that's very, very off the normal for the content that I produce, but you know what? I mean, I'm just a normal person doing normal things, hobbies that I like, that a lot of my viewers, they align with. But this could impact and reach people that may be going through something like this and maybe worried, maybe, you know, scared of what's next when they've had a stroke or anything, or even just this identified for other reasons, and they're considering going through the path of closing their PFO. A lot of people, actually, everybody in that room. So I was in the clips before this. I went to Los Robles Hospital in Thousand Oaks, and everybody in that room for the day, at least the day, because the doctor that worked on me works there, teaches there. But every case that he had that day, yesterday, was a PFO closure. So every single person that was there through all walks of life, various ages. I believe I was the youngest, but everybody that was there for the day had a PFO and was getting the same closure as I was. Granted, all the variances were there, but I don't know the specifics in terms of like the size of their PFO, the conditions to which they were recommended that closure. They may be different, but I overheard a lot of the same their predispositions were that related to a stroke that led them to be in the situation that they were in. So yeah, my time's up. I get called back and they wheel me out there, and I tell you, it was like the nerves and the shake started hitting me. They're talking to me. Talking to me, and they're saying it's gonna be okay. You're in the best hands that you could be in, and all that stuff. And I was just like, I know, but my point is, I just couldn't stop it. I was shaking like wild. People started just like, all right, once I'm laid down, they start manipulating my limbs, my legs. They say, don't move anything. We got you. Started putting me like on some like cushion pads that had like hot air running through them. They started compressing me with hot blankets. They started doing all these things, right? Like effortlessly, to where all I need to focus on is just being calm, listening to the instructions, just being calm. Anesthesiologist walks up to me and talks to me, and he's like, dude, he talked to me out in the area where I was waiting before they rolled me back. And he's like, you're gonna be okay. We got you. I know, I can tell that you are a little bit on the higher end of being, nervous, concerned. So we're gonna give you a stiff, within variance and variable of what I'm like allowed to have. We're gonna give you a stiff form of medication. You're gonna feel good. I'm gonna make sure I take care of you there. So yeah, it didn't take very long. Because they give you a form of anesthesia, but you're still very, very coherent. You're still very awake. You're still there. They gave me a concoction of drugs, and yeah, those drugs, they really, they took that edge off good. The thing about it is when they took that edge off, I felt really relaxed. I felt my heart rate going down. I felt, I felt things really working in terms of like my anxiety going down. But when they did that, right, Doc was already walking in. His team was there before. They were just getting me ready. And I thought I was going to have, not that I needed it, I just thought I was going to be like, okay, there's going to be more of a talk, an introduction, discussion. But my goodness, there wasn't, man. So I got the drugs. I was laid down. Obviously, I was laying flat. I was feeling good. And I was starting to feel like on the verge of like wanting to go to sleep. But then I probably could have if they weren't going to start working on me. But they started to work on me. Doc was in. He's talking to the doctors that were there. I had a little like a curtain like two curtains kind of. I could still kind of see, but only if I like lifted my head up, and I wasn't gonna do that, right? So they said, "All right, David, you're gonna feel a poke down there." I'm like, "Oh shit, already? All right, cool. I'm gonna feel a poke," and they poked. It stung. And I was like, "What's that?" I said, "Well, that's just anesthetic, right?" They told me that, and I'm sure I believe them. And anyway, so that happened. I was like, all right, that kind of hurt. Just a prick, whatever, not that big. And it's I was more so concerned in the area because, being where it is, it's the femoral vein is where they went in from. So it's very close to the unit. And very close to, I've had incisions for hernia repair there. So, my sensation in that area is kind of like spotty anyway, but like, yeah, it didn't hurt that bad. So I was like, okay, whatever. And then, me being me, shortly after that, I felt a shit ton of blood. Like in my, I know they're going in through a vein. I've seen procedures. I've seen them let the blood flow out just a tad, just to know, okay, that's the right spot. And they have imaging to guide them through and all that. But yeah, like I felt the blood go down my leg, like the inner side of my inner thigh, and I was like, "Is that what I think it is?" And they're like, "Yep, it's all right though. It's normal. Everything's good." They're just letting that shit go. I mean, not really. But in my head, I'm like, "Damn, ah, it's like you're peeing yourself." But it's like it's blood, right? Because you have full control of everything else. Everything you're there. I'm like, I feel blood like going down between my pinchy huevos and ass, and I'm just there, right? Like, all right, cool. And it stops. I feel it stop, But as soon as I feel it stop in all the videos I've seen, and granted, everyone probably handles it whatever, differently, whatever. I'm not saying nothing like that. He's the guy. But like in my head, I'm anticipating like, okay, now this and this and this, just because the guy that I saw was like, he was talking to the viewers on the camera, and he was doing it and talking to the patient. But my doctor was teaching 2 or 3 other medical students. So it was boom, 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 boom. So as soon as that, I felt more pressure. I think he clearly pushed something in to guide it. Probably the guide wire to guide it through into the heart. Like I felt the pressure off the site. I was like, okay, maybe he's just getting the shoes ready. I don't know exactly where in the process, but the one thing that I knew, once I realized this, I was like, oh shit, he's already there. I'm just anticipating. I'm just looking for any pain. Try to see if I feel any pain. Brace for it. And there was pain here and there. Like I felt a little bit of a sting there, a little bit of a sting there, a little bit of pressure in my back there. Like I felt things here and there, and then just them going in and manipulating. They're getting in your vein and guiding a tube into your heart. I felt them. I shit you not. I felt them inside my heart. I was like, fuck. Like, and it wasn't like anything crazy. Like, oh, I felt like you can feel like when you're being touched, like you can feel that. No, it wasn't that. It was like, I felt like something like kind of like fluttering around in there, like going like between one side of the heart to the next, just kind of, feeling around. Like something was in there feeling around. And I was like, oh hell. And that was just, I'm imagining. They weren't telling me this. I do kind of wish that he was telling me, because I really wanted to know like when and where we are in the procedure. But this is not a doc to him. He was great. It was in and done, in and out so fast. But I knew it. I knew, okay, he's there. He's in my heart. And then I couldn't necessarily tell when they went through the hole. But the only reason why I know they were already through the hole is because they were already placing the occluder. They were talking about, okay, you see this right here? Obviously way better presentation of words, but he had already opened one side of the occluder on one side of the hole, one side of the wall of the heart, and firmly pressed. And I think when I was feeling that, he might have already been at that stage. I don't know, but they had already opened one side of the occluder. They told me to brace and like act like I was gonna have a Valsalva movement. And that might have been before they even got there, but I'm just kind of raw, unfiltered thoughts right now. I only did that one. I only braced once, and they told me I was gonna have to do that. And I felt like a more pressure, and then not like a pop. I don't want to like freak people out with like a pop, but it's like when they pull out something, you know, like you just felt it come out. I'm like, oh, okay. And then a little bit more blood, and then they put pressure. Like I felt actual pressure. Like they put pressure. I'm like, huh. And I didn't, I didn't know. Is that just pressure from you pushing in and maneuvering more? Like I didn't know exactly where they were. And then, oh, that's it. They're out. They're done. And I'm like, it's just hitting you. Like, what the hell? They're done. Like, damn, dude. It felt like 10 minutes in there, to be honest. But it really was closer to 30. But that might have been the medication too. Not in and out, but like just like making me at ease. So I wasn't counting the minutes, counting the seconds, kind of looking around, like getting my own head worked up. But once that was done, they bandaged me up. They kept me in there for like a few minutes. They closed there. Like there was a closure device, not a device. They call it I forget exactly the words, but it's like a form of sealant. When they're pulling out, they're applying like this sealant to the hole in the femoral vein to create a seal and a cap, so you won't bleed. You won't have any issues as long as you do everything you're told to do. And they did that, and they put like this adhesive with gauze over it. This thick thing of gauze over it. And anyway, they do that. They're checking the area for residual. They see if there's nothing happening, and then they wheel you out. And then once I started getting wheeled out, I knew, okay, the worst is over. I didn't feel any which way. I felt fine. I was, whatever. I was still there. Once they got me to my room or my area again, the nurse was great. She was checking in on me as soon as that was done. She was checking on me every 15 minutes for bleeding at the site. Checking for me every 15 minutes for the first hour and it's they wanted me to lay completely flat. Don't get up for 4 hours. If I needed to pee, if I needed to do anything, if I wanted to eat, I had to eat like laying like flat. My body had to be flat. My head could be arched up a little, like kind of like right now, but my body had to be very flat. So I was flat for 4 hours, and then she was checking me every 15 minutes. The medication probably let me go out for maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So I woke up about a little more than halfway done of my 4 hour stint of time, and I was like, okay, cool. So the only thing really, I know that was a live story. Those that watch for the information, I think you guys want to hear that, just to kind of give you a full take on that, how you may feel. But even after the procedure, right? They told me they discharged me the same night. I got in, I checked in by 12. Procedure was at 2:30. I got back to the OR at 3. I got out of there and back to my room by 3:45. And I left at about 7:30, 7:40. I was discharged. So, granted, make sure everything was good. Everything was great, and it was. And I have a list of instructions, don't overdo it. Don't lift anything over 10 pounds. Don't walk for 20 miles. And I mean, there's no time limit, but you just don't want to be on your feet very much the first 4. You can, but every time that I get up or every time that I cough or sneeze, if I have a bowel movement, I have to hold firm pressure on the site. Because the only real risk really is the site bleeding. And not so much that it's bleeding, you can stop that. But if the sealant in there removes itself, then you can bleed. And it's not an artery, so it's not gonna freaking blow out in like seconds, but you will bleed. And it could either cause two things. It could bleed outward, or it can like outside of the hole, or it can bleed internally and cause a hematoma. And they told me what to feel out for that. Like it'd be like a hard ball, right? Raising a golf-sized ball, raising right there at the site. So if I was pushing and feeling, and I feel like a hard ball, then I hurt with pain, then I know I'm bleeding. And I got to apply firm pressure for 10 minutes. So I slept like ass. But it's also because I'm sleeping with everything on. I have my socks, my shorts are on, shirt, wristwatch. I sleep in boxers. So when I get home, and no socks. I hate sleeping with clothes on like that. So that on top of just I had a headache after. I've been trying to flush fluids, and I had to get up and pee a lot. Kidneys are trying to flush out the anesthesia. So yeah, I was just like just over it, you know. Like I wanted it to be flat, but I couldn't get comfortable because I can't really. I mean, I can lift my leg, but I can't really like. I'm one leg down. I need to really use the other leg. And as you adjust in bed, you don't realize how much of your pelvis you use. And obviously, your abdominals connect to your pelvic region. And I learned that the first time anyone I had my hernia surgery down there. Everything is connected. Coughing, laughing, sneezing, you know, bearing down for anything. It's all connected, right? So for me, it's like all that was those sensations were tied to that hole. And it wasn't very comfortable, you know? So just try to stay as still as possible. But yeah, it's we're here. It's 7:30 in the morning the next day, and yeah, it's surreal. I had my first alarm that I wake myself up and check it. It just went off on my wrist. I woke up before it. I wanted to record this video, so I've been recording for a while now. And I'm here. I'm good. I genuinely hope this reaches somebody that, you know, obviously my viewers that want to watch and key in with me. I appreciate you. I couldn't appreciate you any more than, you know, I do. But for people that may be going through this, I hope the algorithm at least touches some of you, because I know what I felt, you know, and I felt a lot of nerves, not uncertainty so much. I did feel it, but how's life going to be after, right? I know we're in the infancy of that stage of my life. I know there's lots of things that people hear. So any questions, any comments that you want to, if you even catch this video a month to a year, I'm going to respond to every single one of you. So don't hesitate to ask the question, because I don't know how many of these videos I'm going to have. This is basically the conclusion and wrap up of this part of my life. So the only real follow-up that I'm going to have with this is probably going to be like me being back to my normal life and getting back in airsoft, getting back in very active sports, getting myself back into gear with working out consistently and getting my heart moving, right, with this brand new device in me. So that I probably would update everyone, but I would say, you know, just little by little and not oversaturate it. You know, this is an airsoft channel, and giving it a little bit of flair to introduce more aspects of me that maybe people are not used to seeing. But it's also just an informative piece that I want to make sure I give each and every one of you that are going through it or soon going through it. So I'm going to catch you guys in a bit. And yeah, I might post a thread to see if anyone has questions, but probably not. I'll catch you guys in a little bit. I'm going to probably rest a little bit more and get some food. All right. Take care. Catch you guys in a bit.
Okay, this is probably post of the video I had just posted. I wanted to give another update on top of the video. That way everyone knows kind of where I currently am. A lot of times I peep the comments of you know, other videos related to the PFO closure. You always see the comments of, hey, checking in about 6 months after you posted this. How are you doing? Are you okay? Da, 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 da. Are you still alive? I intend to update this particular thread over and over. So this is a second update video on the whole PFO closure. I'm going to try to limit the length of it, keep some impromptu video in there, but I'm also just going to edit a lot more. Because we all know, if you haven't already realized or haven't caught up on the video where I talk about it, I'll put it in the link down below so you can watch that, to why we even got to this point to begin with. So fast forward from December 17th to February 17th. I've had the procedure done already, and that was done by Dr. Carr in Thousand Oaks, Los Robles Hospital in Thousand Oaks. And I'm still here. I'm still doing. I'm breathing. I'm alive, and it went well. All things considered, it went well. There were obviously things that it was painful. I will go. The video that I've edited, you have seen the raw input of what I went through. So I won't do that here. But the one thing that I wanted to provide you to close this video out is kind of like where I am now, about what is this, 3 going on 4 days in from the PFO closure. Now, my experience in terms of the wound at the femoral vein, the site down there between in the groin, it's located in the crease of the leg. So right where the crease of the inner thigh is, before your pelvis, it's right there, quite close to that. So, with all things, it's healing great. I have some residual bruising. I've had to kind of like make sure that every time I brace, or if I if I go to the restroom, or if I have any type of sneezing or coughing or extreme laughing that I was told to put pressure there for at least the first few days, at least 4 to 5 days. After that, your body is going to do what it's going to do, and it's going to be fine. So I'm going on day 4, and the one thing that I will report back that I have experienced, aside from the localized pain, I did not have any, at least as of right now, have had no types of atrial fibrillation or any types of heart flutters. I haven't felt anything in regards to the heart itself, no chest pain, no lack of difficulty breathing, nothing, no dizziness per se, nothing like that. But I do have something to report that as of right now, I don't have anything else that was linked to it. Well, not anything else that I saw, at least my early looking at it, is I have been having a lot of more headaches, and I'm gonna consult that with my cardiologist when I go back and see them. But I have definitely, as I got out of the procedure, I've had a lot of headaches, and I've had to crank some Tylenol, extra strength, to kind of put it at bay. But not only the headaches, I also have, at least I did last night, the night before, I had some like chills, like almost like body aches, but chills, like with a headache, and it just kind of got like, your body kind of hurts, and it's associated with the pain. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, am I coming down with something? Like, I'm more inclined to think that I'm coming down with something rather than that this is a result of the device that's in my chest. But all the same, I could have been. It might be, but I have no symptoms to tell me otherwise that I'm sick, or I have some kind of sickness going on, brewing in the background. We're in like I said, going on day 4, and every day, evening, since the procedure, I've had that. And last night, particularly, early this morning, I had the body aches, and then I had like my body was sweating. So I had like the sweats, and like when you have a fever, and then when the fever breaks, like it breaks, and then you're like, your body, like you're like sometimes waking up in a bed full of like sweat. And that's kind of how it happened to me last night. I woke up in like a bed full of sweat, and I'm like, I felt better, but I woke up like that. And I'm like, oh, this is terrible. So I got up, walked around a little bit, didn't have any more pain associated with like my body or my head. And I just kind of went back to sleep. So today, the 20th, I don't really have anything so much like that. I'm going to keep watching it, keep monitoring it. But, I did have to kind of say that because it's really definitely, I'm going to link it to that. I have pulled up articles that say that, people that have migraines, which I do, I've had migraines, that sometimes the migraines or headaches get a little worse before they get better. But the majority of the people that get them, there is a link that contributes to reduction in migraines over time. So that's about it. I'm going to update this probably when I go back in for another TEE. I imagine I'll have to have another TEE within a month or two to see how the healing of the heart was. Because really, just as a reminder, the heart itself, once the device is set, then the heart has to heal around the device to basically form like one solid heart wall. And then once that's done, then that's it. It's part of you fully, and it's part of me now. But that was the whole purpose of it, to make it one. So there's no issue, there's no risk for any type of thrombus
thrombus or thromboids. I forget what they call it, but it's like essentially like where the body starts to form masses on and around the device that can build over time, and then you have essentially like a mass clot that could eventually break away and cause a heart attack and cause another stroke, but probably way more severe. The reason why, this is the reason, exactly the reason why I stay on the medication that I'm on, and I take it very religiously, because the anticoagulation medication I'm on and the blood thinners combined is supposed to reduce that chance and reduce that risk. So once they do that and I'm in the clear, then the medication goes away. The Plavix I'm on, I stop taking the Plavix, and I get back to doing the things that I want to do. Gonna get back into fitness, gonna drop some of this extra weight, gonna get back into Airsoft, gonna get back into just a bunch of other things that I wanted to do and I was on the way to do, and then this great thing happened to me. So it's another a reason to don't take things for granted and get out there and live the life you want to live. It's kind of, I don't want to say an eye opener, but there's just things that, sometimes happen for a reason, and you got to appreciate the things that come in your life, and you got to make sure you lead with the right foot forward, and don't stop living just because, the now can be rough or it could be stressful, whatever that is. That's always going to be there, but you got to do what you want to do now, because you're never guaranteed a tomorrow. Right. All right, that's it. I'm gonna stop this here. I'm gonna edit this up, push this video out for you guys. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you guys are staying healthy. I hope you guys are living life up. And I cannot wait to get out there and start plinking again and doing Airsoft and meeting everybody and having a good time with everybody. It was nice to come back to everyone in December for the brief time that I was there. It was nice catching up with everybody, nice catching up with people, fans of the channel, and just having a good old time. So I cannot wait to get back to events and get back to doing what I love. So without further ado, I hope you all have a great one, a great day, great week, great weekend, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care, guys.